Good afternoon, Fabian Onetti, covering the week of September 20 to September 24. And the market, as they say, when you go to the roller coaster, you enter and exit from the same place. After all this noise that we had with Evergrande in China, we're going to talk in a second, and everything, at the end of the day, the market didn't do much for the week. 0.6%, 0.5%, after having a drop of 2% at the beginning of the day. We had news on the Fed, news on Evergrande. And let's jump on Evergrande. There was a payment due in Thursday. It was not made. We come into the 30-day grace period. And there is a lot of comments and stories. Brings me back to the days of Olympia and Reich. Olympia and York, the Richmond brothers from Canada, they defaulted in 1991 or 1990, $20 billion. They were building Canary Wharf in London back in the day, for those who have memory. And that prompted a little bit of a recession. It was done with the Iraq invasion of Kuwait. Oil shoot up. They couldn't make the payments. Here, this is the largest developer in China. Everybody's talking about it. An organized restructuring. I never heard of such a thing unless the Chinese government step in and pay for it. Otherwise, it's going to be defaults here and there, and it will be effects mostly on China's slowdown. All the research we read this weekend, real estate and construction is about 27% of China GDP. It's huge. It's been, remember, the engine of growth. Construction, building is part of the net worth of a lot of the people. The company sold a lot of wealth management products. It was doing the famous pre-sale of property. You buy it now, start paying, and with that money they were funding the construction of a building or an apartment. Then they deliver to you and go on to the next one. They have taken a lot of money and now they have not delivered. The company has 200,000 employees, and on and off has about employs 3 to 4 million workers to do construction. It's a real size company. So we'll see. This thing is not over. It's a lot of color, a lot of comment. We will have our expert Carlos Alfaro on Wednesday at 2:30 talking about that. So more to come. This chapter is not over. We had the Fed meeting, although I didn't see a lot. It's all this dot plot voting, whatever, but there is changes in the government council, so some of these votes will not be there where it needed to be. So most of the market assumes that somewhere towards the end of the year, we will start seeing some tapering of the purchase of bonds. We're a little bit skeptical about that. We have not seen the evidence. I remember some of the numbers in the economy has been noisy, has been a little bit unstable, or not so good, better say. And speaking of, that brings us to COVID. There is some noise on the Delta variant. Things are getting better, but not on a straight line. There is some noise. There was some good news. The CDC recommended a third shot for anybody over 65 with conditions, frontline workers, and etc. Also, Pfizer, have showed that for young people, 5 to 11 years old, you can do it. J&J say that the second shot provides 100% immunity against severe disease. So things are good there. On the other hand, the United States passed the deaths for the 1918 Spanish flu. So probably the numbers in the world are much higher than what we see in the U.S. The number was 675,000 dead people. So the real numbers could be really much higher. So anyways, going back to the Fed and COVID, we still don't see a straight line of tapering. However, we have to admit that the bond yields went from 130 to 145, but that was after. That was when the Bank of England announced that things are doing well, that they might start, getting some of the stimulus out, but also they highlighted that the inflation noise that they see is transitory. So we'll see where we go with that stuff. The other big element, I think, is important. The Chinese government outright forbidden, outlaw any crypto transaction. No more. You cannot do any more of that. We've been saying this for a while. The crypto is the money for people that has no money, or for people that has no currencies. If your currency is the dollar, the euro, or the Swedish krona, or established, well-protected, well-managed currencies, you don't need that stuff. Now, the Chinese don't have good currency. The renminbi is a closed system, so you are always at the mercy of the government. The same happens in Nigeria, in Venezuela, in Argentina. So those people might use it, but if you have a good currency, we don't really see a lot of the benefit other than a speculation story. Actually, the SEC chairman Gensler came and say, these are poker chips. Crypto is poker chips, and be careful because they might be very worthless. That's all we have. Have a great week. Remember, every day at 8:30, live, interactive, on a Zoom call with our clients. Have a great week.